Hi everyone and welcome to episode 62 of United City Randomiser. So since we last met, which was the Augsburg game in the cup competition, we've got 2 wins in the Bundesliga, and then unfortunately we picked up a loss against also today's opponent, Schalke, and the loss was in the league, and today we play them in the German Cup semi-final. So we've got a bit of a turnaround to do here. If we want to go through to the final, we're going to have to beat a tough opponent. It was a disappointing game. We didn't play very well. I think we can do better, but again, we are away from home at Schalke, so the odds are stacked a little bit against us, I would suggest today. In terms of the favourites for the game, you can see over here the odds do suggest that Schalke are a bit ahead of us in terms of favourites tag, but that suits us. We'll try and play the underdog card and see what we can do. In terms of league position, you can see they're 2 ahead of us, but we're on the same points, on 53 points. The couple of wins that we picked up recently were really, really important to us just to keep the pressure on those teams above us. You can see that we are connected to 4th place in terms of points, but we're also just 3 points off up to 2nd place as well. So if we can get a couple of decent wins in our remaining league fixtures, who knows how high we can finish. You can see that we've got Wolfsburg, Bayern, Mainz and Hertha, and other than Bayern, I would suggest all of the others are perfectly winnable. Hertha and Wolfsburg are sort of sitting, Wolfsburg in 10th, and Hertha Berlin are in 11th, and Mainz are in 8th. So, they're all perfectly decent enough games for us to play. And then, of course, Bayern, who are top of the table and really running away with the league this year. So, I think we're capable of getting a couple of decent wins and hopefully finishing strong in the division. But today is about the cup competition. We're into the semi-final. We've got a one-off game against Schalke. I'm really hopeful that we can play better than we did in literally the last game against them. And to do that, the team that we're putting out is pretty much full strength. The only player that's out of the team and the squad at the moment is Mason Mount. He's picked up a knock that's going to keep him out for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So that basically keeps him out for the rest of the season, which is unfortunate. But, nonetheless, we've got a decent enough squad to cope with the games that we've got coming up. And today's team is absolutely 100% my first 11. So here we go. It's Kabul in goal, Breyer at right back, DeMarco at left back, Gimba and Horacio in central defence, Gomez as the deep line playmaker, Siflidis as the support midfielder, Gravenberch as the Metzala attack role, Gundogdu on the right, Abandu on the left, and Jovic up top. Jovic isn't scoring the goals that I hoped he would. If we go and have a look at his stats for the season, you can see he's only got 8 goals in 26 games that he's played for us. Very disappointing. He's got the stats for it, the attributes for it, but he's just not been performing as well as I'd hope. One of the things that I want to do over the summer, one of the reasons why we bought Petrella in, who also at the moment isn't quite hitting the heights, but you can see his attributes are decent, although they're dropping because his morale and his form has dropped a little bit recently. He's a decent enough striker, but he's our striker. So hopefully at the beginning of next season, he might play sort of second choice striker role next season, with Votava coming into the club as the 3rd choice as well. What I really need to do is get both Rollheiser and Jovic out of the club in terms of our loan players in that position, and see if we can get a permanent striker in that's going to settle into the club, spend enough time here to get used to the club and the players around him, and then start scoring the goals. So that's the real job for the summer, that we can see if we can get a decent enough striker in that's going to actually stay at the club long term and get some goals for us. But that's for another day. Today's the cup competition, one-off game against Schalke. We lost to them in the last game. Let's see what we can do in this particular game. So let's get into the game and see what happens. Just before we get into the game, if you can hear any additional noises on the audio today, I've just got some workmen doing some stuff in my back garden, so that's what that's about. Apologies for that, but it was still important for me to get a video out, so I hope it won't be too disruptive. But in terms of the team talk for today's game against Schalke, I've gone with the thought that in literally the last game that we played them in the league, when we lost, it's time to get revenge on that. So we owe Schalke, after what happened in our last match, go and get revenge, and I've assertively said that. And hopefully that's going to get them really motivated and up for today's game. It seems to have done a good job in terms of the reaction to the team talk. Let's go and see what happens in terms of reaction on the pitch. So we're going to kick off away from home, you can see, and we're in our white strip. We get kickoff. Will it lead to an initial highlight of some note, or will it just drift away? It drifts away at that point. So let's see how the game sort of pans out in terms of possession stats and how well we can control the game. I suspect we'll lose out on possession terms a little bit just because we're away from home, and Schalke are a decent side. But hopefully on the counter-attack, maybe we can pick up some stuff. If by half-time we're not looking like we're going to get much of an opportunity, then in the second half we'll talk about going to the gegenpress potentially. And you can see that the first half, you look up, and I thought like 15 minutes had gone in terms of the time, but you look up and that's half-time. There was literally no highlights at all. Done. Half-time. 5 attempts for them, 1 attempt for us. Only 1 shot on target, really cagey game, and literally nothing happened. So this is going to be a short episode all of a sudden. So let's go back in, and we're going to passionately say, if we can get the goal, I think it makes us favourites. And then we're going to go in and passionately say, I have faith in you. That's the one that we want to go to. Passionately say, you weren't that bad, but I believe in you, and you've got everything you need, and I have faith in you. That's what we're going to do for Jovic specifically. I want you to prove to everyone that you've got what it takes to play for this club. Why not? Hopefully that's that's got them happy and motivated, most of them, so that's important. And let's go straight back into the game. We picked up 1 yellow card for Gomez, but other than that, fitness and health is no problem at the moment, so that's good. And let's see if we can actually get some stuff to happen in this second half. I can't believe how quickly that first half just drifted away with absolutely nothing happening at all. I don't know. There we go. What can you do? Here we go. A highlight for us. A throw-in on the left-hand side. It comes across to Gundogdu, and he powers the ball home. Brilliant. That was a lovely, lovely opportunity for a decent throw-in. And our throw-ins are good. Our long throws find their man quite consistently. DiMarco this time, you can see sitting on the edges of Bando in plenty of space. And he manages to cross the ball from inside the area to the far side for Gundogdu, who powers the ball home. And we're 1-0 up with 67 minutes gone. We're going to make a couple of substitutions in a minute and just keep everybody healthy. But what a brilliant opportunity for us to, avenge the previous defeat, should I say. 81 minutes. What am I looking at? So we've got a couple of central midfielders that are lacking a little bit in conditioning now. We've got, again, Jovic hasn't really shown himself, so he's going to have to come off. So we'll make that change for Rollheiser straight away. Mason Mount is usually the replacement for Gravenberch, so we're going to keep him on. Siflitis is playing quite well, isn't he? I think we're going to take Gomez off because of his yellow card. I don't want to get him any more issues. And I am going to take... which one? I'm going to take Gravenberch off, put Bischler on, and we're going to just let Bischler play in that slightly more advanced role, and hope that we can see the game out in that sense with a little bit more bite in midfield from Bischler. But yeah, really positive result this will be if we can get it after such a disappointing league match in literally the last game. There's an opportunity for a corner. It didn't lead to much, and they've counter-attacked on us with a couple of minutes left. This is an opportunity for them, but very good defending by DiMarco, and he clears the ball to Abando, who's got plenty of space to run into. Can he get past his man? He can, and he drives forward. Another cross into Rollheiser, who hits the crossbar. On the follow-up, he puts the ball in the back of the net, and the goalkeeper was down at that point, having saved the first shot and not able to respond to the follow-up. And Rollheiser puts the tie into no doubt whatsoever. That's us through to the final of the German Cup competition, which I'm so delighted with. What a great shot that was, which confused the goalkeeper, changed his position slightly, and Rollheiser beat the defenders to the loose ball and powered it past the keeper for a 2-0 win. A 2-0 lead, should I say. Let's not say win, because that was an opportunity for them on a free kick, but it didn't come to anything, and Kabul showed safe hands and keeps hold of the ball, slows the game down, and that should be it. And it is full time, and we've avenged our recent defeat to them in the cup competition when it was important for us to try and go through. We get a decent 2-0 win. I'm really happy with that. After such a dull first half, that was a brilliant response in the second half. That was really special. Nobody gave us a chance. You played magnificently. Congratulations. That's got everybody delighted, and should hopefully regain the momentum after the recent loss as well to take back into the league. So rearguard action. provides the win, we get through in the semi-final, we get a bit of money for it, Abando impresses. So the question is, who's the opponent for the cup final? And we'll find that out in a second. Well, there's the inevitable. It's going to be a really, really tricky day on Saturday, the 25th of May, 2024, because in the German Cup final, United City FC play the mighty Bayern Munich. And if you've been all the way through this save with me, you know some of the goal fests that we've had with them, and it usually results in them annihilating us at times. In the last couple of seasons, though, I think it's been a bit closer. So in a one-off game for the final of the German Cup, you never know what's going to happen, but it is going to be tricky. So where does that fit into the rest of the season? Well, we've got a couple more league games to come. I might do a double header of the last league game and the cup, or I might just do the cup final as the last episode of this particular season. I'll decide that depending on how the results have gone and what's at stake for the last game of the season. But in terms of where we are for the league campaign now, we need a couple of decent wins, don't we, really, just to try and cement our position in hopefully the top four. But that's going to be, I don't know whether it's tricky or not. I think we've got some good games. So let's see if we can keep the momentum going from a decent cup run and take that back into the league and get a couple of decent wins that will hopefully get us into a Champions League spot. If we can get a Champions League spot and a cup win this season, I'll be delighted with that. But it is going to be tricky to beat Bayern, isn't it? So there we go. That's episode 62. Thanks for joining me. If you're enjoying the series, then why not subscribe to the channel? It helps you keep up to date with the videos. If you enjoyed this particular episode, then why not chuck a like on it for me? That will help others see it, which is important for the growth of my channel. But until next time, if you're playing Football Manager yourself, I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know how your saves are going in the comments below. It's always interesting to hear other people's stories of what they're doing. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.